Alright, so here's what I did with one of my climbing sticks. I just got this double stirrup system on there. That's just going to allow me to get another extra couple feet higher right off the ground. The reason I didn't do it on all four sticks was that for the last 2 years I've used this type of system. I think I got the idea originally from a guy at Archery Talk who was trying to sell them. Different forums, a lot of guys thought they didn't want to try it because it wasn't safe enough. I decided to make some of my own, and I've used it for 2 seasons. Never really felt unsafe using them. The big thing that I didn't really like about them though was just that it takes a little bit of extra time getting your foot seated so that you do feel safe. And it was a little bit tougher during the dark. So that's why I'm not going to do it on all 3 sticks, or all 4 sticks, excuse me, but just on the 1 stick right off the ground. But this will allow me to get an extra 3 feet with almost no added weight. I mean, for me this is pretty easy to do just like it's built, especially with boots. With these shoes it's a little bit tough, they're pretty soft. But with a nice solid soled boot, this isn't really challenging at all. And I just climb right up, keep on going. Alright, so to make the rope stirrups you're going to need 1-inch tubular webbing. I got this stuff from REI. I actually had to order the camo pattern online. It was 60 cents a foot. And I just had to ship to store, so it's free shipping. So basically what you're going to need to do is take 11 feet of this. 11 feet will give you the 2 steps. You just double this webbing onto itself, but give yourself about a foot here of extra with one side. And then what you're going to do, you're going to take this longer end, fold it over the top of the other one like that. So now you got that one piece kind of sandwiched in between the loop. And then you just take this section and just make an overhand knot with it. Okay. So now that you got that overhand knot tied, you should have enough of a space to get your climbing stick through that hole. If not, you can adjust it. And then what you end up with is just a big loop with the rest of the strap. So now, to make these stirrups, it's really quite easy. All you got to do is just take about 18 inches. Okay, so that's about 2 of my hands. About 18 inches. And you're going to want to take one side of that rope and pull it into that stirrup shape. Give yourself enough room so that you could easily stick your boot in there. And then you're just going to make an overhead knot with the webbing. And then try and get it so that when you pull this thing out into its final shape, you got about the same distance for each of your steps. So like right here, this step's probably a little bit longer than this one. So I might readjust this now a little bit. To make that end longer. Once you're satisfied, just tighten it up. Alright, so to make life easy for yourself, you're going to want to sturdy these up a little bit, add a little bit of structure to that stirrup. So there's really no set in stone way to do this, but I'll show you the way I do it. And that is, just start with one of these, and I'll fold it over halfway, and then just take a little piece of electrical tape and make a loop around it to hold it in place like that. And then I'll just do that the whole length of the stirrup. Now once that's done, the next thing I'm going to do is make a cobra weave with some of this 5mm paracord. Alright, so to do this weave, once again I got 5mm utility cord. This is PMI brand. I bought it from REI, less than $10 for 30 feet. This section I have in my hands right now is 7 feet long. It works pretty well for the size stirrup that I use. And you just want to find the midpoint of that 7-foot section and then place it right here underneath one side of the stirrup. Then you're going to take one of the free ends, make a little S like this, take the other end of the cord, and you're going to go down through this loop, back up through this loop, and then pull it tight. So I'm going to push it down through that side, back up through that side, and then pull it tight. Now make an S with the other side and do the same thing, just in reverse. Down through this end, back up through that loop. Again, loop with this side. I'll just tie this off and then free the ends a little bit and burn them so they don't come undone. First you want to find your bottom stick. For me, I know this is my bottom stick because I have this clip on here. You're going to want to take off the bottom hardware. Once that's off, you can take your loop and just slide it over the stick like that. Now once you get your hardware back on there, this is how I would have the loop when I'm stacking the sticks on top of it, and then once I'm ready to use it, just put one of the feet down and then just loop this right over the top like that. If you do want a little bit of extra stability in these things, you can take a piece of aluminum arrow. That's kind of a thought I had. I never really tried it yet, but you should be able to just slide that as you're tying. Just slip that aluminum arrow in there, and then this will stay completely horizontal. You'll be able to put your boot on it. The cording should protect it from getting metal to metal contact with anything, so it should still be pretty quiet. So if you're having trouble with the design just as it is right now, then I would recommend putting something a little bit more stable inside the paracord loop. One more thing, check out username C Big Bear's video. He has a method, I think he developed it, where he can use one climbing stick and uses a rock climbing harness, and he's able to get as high as he wants to go up a tree with just one stick. So if you had a system like this, where this stick only weighs 1.5 pounds from the store, add on this tubular webbing, I mean, it's still under 2 pounds. So you have a tree stand that maybe weighs 8-10 pounds, and you got a 2-pound stick, and you're able to go as high as you want. That's pretty remarkable if you're doing a lot of remote public hunts where you're walking in, 1, 2, maybe even 3 miles to do a hunt.